What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to give you 3 steps to close anyone, and I'm going to break this down for you and make it very simple to apply so that you can follow this. But this is going to be 3 steps that you can use to close anybody in a sales interaction, in a negotiation scenario, and with your sales career, with your business. This is going to be extremely valuable to you if you're having trouble handling objections, if you're having trouble closing deals, if you're bringing in a lot of prospects but not knowing how to close them up, if you're not satisfied with where you're at in terms of your sales results, your commissions, your revenues in your business, whatever it might be. These 3 steps will be helping you. These will be very simple steps to follow, but it will have a very deep and meaningful impact on your sales career and on your business. So I'm excited to share them with you. I'm excited to get into it, but just before we do that, make sure to smash that like button, comment your thoughts below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and on that note, let's get into it. So here are the 3 steps to close anybody and everybody in any scenario. If it comes to sales, negotiations, and business, here are the 3 steps you can use. I can tell you from personal experience of being in 7 different industries for over a decade, being a high performer, being a sales manager, a director, a VP of sales, a president of sales, a shareholder in multiple companies. I've done it all. I've hired, trained, managed hundreds of sales professionals and entrepreneurs, and this is something that I can tell you from real tangible experience. It's not coming from books, it's not coming from theory. So let me break them down for you. I'm going to dive right into it. Step 1 is to always stay in agreement. So you want to stay in agreement with your prospect. You want to stay in agreement if you're in a negotiation scenario. You want to stay in agreement in a business dealing, whatever the case might be. And what that means, staying in agreement, is you don't want to make people wrong even if they are wrong. You don't want to create an unpleasant scenario where they're not enjoying talking to you, where they're not enjoying the interaction. Nobody's going to do business with you if every single thing they say, you're making them wrong. Everything they say, you're disagreeing with them. You know, if you're constantly correcting them, if you're constantly on top of your prospects like that, nobody's going to enjoy that interaction. Therefore, they're going to automatically assume that your product or service is going to be just as unpleasant to deal with. And whether they like the product or service or not, they won't buy from you. They'll go buy from someone else. So that's the first step, staying in agreement. Step number 2 is acknowledging your prospects, your customers, your boss, whoever it might be that you're speaking to in a sales scenario. You're looking to sell them on something. It could be a product or service. It could be selling them on giving you a raise, a promotion, whatever it might be. Any kind of scenario like that where you're communicating and persuading somebody is a sales or negotiation scenario. So what you want to do is you want to acknowledge them. That's always a second step, because most people don't acknowledge others. You know, have you ever been in a scenario or you're in a car with a few friends and somebody says something and then somebody else just completely disregards what they say and says something else around their own thoughts or around their own agenda, right? It comes off as rude. It comes off as, you know, this person can't listen. They don't care. They don't listen. They don't hear me out. That's what your prospect is feeling. That's what your boss might be feeling. That's what your business partner might be feeling, whoever it might be. In a relationship, that's what your partner might be feeling, right? So acknowledgement is always the key. It could be as simple as, okay, I heard you. Yes, I got that. Understood. Very clear. I understand what you're looking for. Could be as simple as that. You know, listen, that's great that you're looking for that feature in that product or service. It's amazing. You know, yes, a lot of our clients actually look for that feature in that product or service. I'm going to show you more of that. You know, just an acknowledgement on what they said, acknowledging them, letting them know that they're heard, letting them know that you're listening. You're not just talking. You know, a lot of people can talk and very few people know how to listen, but rarely does somebody know how to talk and how to listen. So acknowledgement is step number 2. And step number 3 is my personal favorite. I created this formula, and you know, throughout the years of being in sales and being in business. And when I created this is when I realized it's something that I always do. And I noticed that a lot of sales professionals around me, coworkers, whatever it might have been. And then later when I started managing salespeople and, you know, running multiple offices and businesses and things like that, I realized that most people don't do this, which is assume control and continue down the sales process. So people will, you know, stay in agreement. They'll be very pleasant to deal with. They'll acknowledge their prospects. They'll, you know, make the little comments here and there. But then what happens is they just wait. They wait for the prospect to assume control. They wait for the prospect to continue the conversation. They wait for the business partner, for the boss, for the whoever to continue the conversation. Whereas the greats, the closers, this is what I used to do, and I still do to this day, would assume control. Once you agree and you're in agreement and it's a pleasant, agreeable conversation, once you acknowledge them and you make those comments and gestures and you know, and they know that they're being heard, Then you assume control of that conversation and you move them down the sales process. You move them down that cycle. You continue to move them in the direction that you want to move the conversation. So you would go right into your sales process, into your system, whatever it is that you do in that specific scenario, in your negotiations, in your sales process, whatever it might be. You assume control again and you continue down the line and in the direction of the result that you're looking to attain here. So very simply put, it's agree, acknowledge, assume control. I also refer to this as my 3 A's rule, and you may have heard me talk about it on social or on YouTube, or if you're one of my clients and part of my Sales Training University platform or courses or programs and whatnot, you may have heard that concept as well. Of course, there's many more layers to it, and I go extremely deep into the A to Z of selling, negotiations, persuasion, closing deals, handling objections, just the beautiful art of persuasion and being a high-level communicator in my courses and programs and Sales Training University as well. So you can get more of that there, and you can get all that information and see how you can apply that in your sales career and your business. But for the sake of this video here and keeping it very just high level and simple and to the point, you want to agree and constantly keep a pleasant environment with your prospects. You want to acknowledge them and let them know that they're being heard. And lastly, you want to assume control of that interaction. You want to move the interaction consciously down the line and towards the desired outcome. So there you have it. A very simple 3-step rule to close anybody in any scenario, in any economy, in any industry, with any product or service. It doesn't matter. The fundamentals of communication, the fundamentals of human psychology, of buyer psychology, the fundamentals of sales and persuasion are always the same across any product or service or industry or economy. So this is something that you can take with you, equip yourself with, and apply anywhere, anytime. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a ton of value from it. I hope you're going to apply this, because like I always say, it's not knowledge, it's applied knowledge that's going to get you to where you want to get to in life. And on that note, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to comment your thoughts below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I think this is a very powerful concept to share with more friends, more family, whoever's in sales or in business. They can definitely use it as well. So make sure to share this with more people and let's pass on the message. And all that said, I'll see you in the next video.